Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I want to use this medium to say thank you to all of our new subscribers and to our existing subscribers. You rock, you are the best. So in this lesson we are going to look at another kind of analysis question we can answer using the pivot table. Previously in our lesson, we learned how to use pivot table for solving various kinds of business questions and to find insights. And now in this particular lesson, we are going to learn about another two types of analysis question we can use the pivot table analytical tool in Microsoft Excel to answer. So let's get right into it. So as you can see here, we have two worksheets. We have pivot table analysis 1 and pivot table analysis 2. So for pivot table analysis 1, we have a question here which says find the total number of products sold from each product category to different customer segments. So we have to find the total number of products sold for each product category, but for different customer segments. So suppose we want to calculate the frequencies of each product category, but for each customer segment, that is business, wholesale, and individual. So let's find the answer of this question by using the pivot table. So we are going to select any cell that we want to place our pivot table on. So I'll be selecting this cell, then go over to the Insert tab, then click on Pivot Table, and now we have this dialog box come up. So we are asked to provide the table range. So for this, we'll go back to our data worksheet and then we select the whole data. So we have selected all of our data. So we say OK. And now we have our pivot table on the worksheets that we are working with at the moment. So now we have to place our variable to its appropriate box. And from the question, we're asked to find the product category first. That is the number of products sold for each category. So we have to select the product category variable and then we drag it to the row section. So product category, then drag it to the row section like so. And then you can see that we have to find the number of products sold for each product category and to different customer segments. So we're going to select the customer segment variable and then we are going to place it on the column section. So drag the customer segment variable, then put it on the customer section. Sorry, on the column section. So from what is going on here, you can see that the output, that is the result we are going to get, is going to be a cross tabulation. So now we are going to calculate the total number of products. So for this, we have to make a count of frequency analysis that will be shown in this blank cell. So all these places we have to fill it up. That is for each product category and for each customer segment. So to do this, we just need to select either product category or customer segment, any of the variable. So we're going to select for me, I'll be selecting the customer segment. You can select the product category as well, and then we place it on the value section. So now we can see that we've got the total number of products sold from each product category to define each customer segment. For example, you can see that in the product category for beauty and health, you can see that the highest number of products sold was to the individual and then to the wholesale. You can see that for the clothing products category, the lowest number of products sold was to the business segment, that is here. So this is how you can use the pivot table to perform any cross tabulation analysis for two categorical analysis. That is for analysis that doesn't have to do with numbers, that they are just text somewhat. So that is how you can do that. Now we are proceeding to the second question, which is in the pivot analysis tool, which is here. So here we have, the question says, find the total number of revenue generated from each product category to different customer segments. So here we have to also perform a cross tabulation, and we have to define the average revenue calculated for each product category that was sold to different customer segments. So let's create the output of this particular question. Using the pivot table, we select the cell that we, as I said previously, that we want our pivot table to be on. Then we go to the Insert tab and we select Pivot Table. Then we go over to the Data worksheet where we have our data. Then we select all of our data, Ctrl plus Shift, then the arrow by your right, then the one downwards. You hold everything at once, and then we go on we click OK. So we have our pivot table here. So we are going to be going to first place the product category in the row section. We'll drag it to the row section, and then we are going to put our customer segment in the column section. So this time around we won't be calculating frequency just like we did in the pivot analysis one. We are not going to be calculating for frequency. Instead, we want to calculate the total revenue. So for this, we have to select the total revenue or the sales variable. In this case, it's the sales amount. So we have to select that, and then we have to drag it to the value section. So we select the sale amount and we drag it to the values section. So Excel by default has calculated the total revenue made or the sales generated for each product category to each type of customer segment. If we select, or if we look at the product category for clothing, so if we look at the product category on clothing, you can see that the highest revenue was generated from the individual customer, and then the lowest revenue was generated from the business customer segment. Moving over to home and kitchen and product category, you can see that the highest revenue generated is from the wholesale, while the lowest generated was from the individual customer segment. So this is how to use pivot table for cross tabulation analysis, one for categorical as we saw in the case of pivot analysis 1, and then the other is for numeric variables. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. Hope you enjoyed it and hope you learned some. If you did, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, that is a like, and do not forget to subscribe as well. And if you know anyone that this video will be useful or helpful to, do not forget to share it to them. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section below, and I will do well to respond to each and every one of them. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.